Jessica several years ago, and at that time she was actually dating someone at the time, and I really thought she was a cool person, you know, but me being an individual that respects her relationship with that person, so I didn't try to, you know, go after her or anything like that, but we were cool for a while, and up until about, I would say, like last year, I started really taking interest in her, and at that time she wasn't going out with anybody, but even then I didn't fully pursue her. You know, we kept small talk until one day at a basketball tournament, actually, this is the time when she actually lost her phone. She lost her phone, and then I overheard that, and then I went up to her and asked her, like, where did you lose it? So I was trying to help her find it. So what we did was went to the front desk, asked the individual, have they seen any phones, or has anybody reported a phone missing? And the person said no. So then after that we went back onto where the tournament was being held at the basketball court, and started talking, and then that's where my interest started rising, actually, and from then on we exchanged numbers, started talking on a regular basis, and afterward we started visiting each other more and more. I got to meet her father, her grandmother, all her sisters, you know, a few of her relatives, individuals in the congregation, and also she got to meet all my family as well. And I knew she was the one from early on because I asked her some deep questions, like how her personality was, and I got to see that through her words and her actions. And she had a lot of wife-like qualities. She was very caring, kind, generous, and I saw how she took care of me, you know, in the early stages of us going out. She was always by my side. Whenever I needed her, she was there, you know. Not too long ago, I had one of my uncles passed away, and the second she heard about it, she was right there. She brought her sister and her brother there to support me, and my father and my mother through a difficult time, real difficult time, and all that really showed me like the person she really is. And the more and more time I spent with her, it just helped me to realize that. And going on 10 months of dating, and every single day.
Ever since I was a little girl, I never really pictured the right guy. I never really thought about weddings, and I always used to be like into sports and, you know, playing outside and everything. And my dad would be like, one day that's gonna change, Jessica. One day I would never paint my nails, would never do anything. And then one day I started liking guys. And I started dating. I dated like 3 boys, and there was one that my mom liked. My mom would always say, I don't know if that's him, And my dad would always say, that's not them yet. So I'd be like, I used to get mad at them, Dad, why don't you think that's him? I like this boy so much. And my mom would say, well, you know what, Jesse, when you meet the right guy, he's gonna pull the chair up for you. He's gonna treat you like a princess. You don't deserve nothing less. So one day, Rob came along, and my mom wasn't here. But ever since that day, he did everything that my mom pictured. And I'm looking at him, I wasn't telling him, I'm like, this guy is too good to be true. So I told my dad, I called him up, I was so excited. I was like, he asked me to dinner, and I was so excited. And then as we got to know each other, it was everything that, you know, my mom was like, that's what you deserve. And I know, like, today she'd be excited. And I look back now at the people who I've dated, and I think that it's helped me grow, because I saw what I was looking for was like, I wanted to be married, but I wasn't looking for the right qualities to carry a family. And then as I got older, I started to look more for the qualities. So when I started looking more for the qualities, Rob fit that. So Rob and I met because we had mutual friends, and I was single at this time. And he called one of my friends that I was hanging out with, and he was like, "Oh, so where are you?" And my friend said, "Oh, you know, I'm hanging out with the Currys." And Rob was like, "Oh, tell Jessica I said hi." So I was like, "Rob who?" And my friend was like, Rob Torsion. And I said, "Oh, I know him. And so then, you know, time went on, and Rob told Tyler, "Tell her to add me on Facebook." So I was just like, I kind of just, you know, let it sit there for a little bit. And then as time went, a couple weeks passed, month passed, and I friend requested him on Facebook. And then I actually used to play football. I played football, I think, 1 or 2 times with his younger brother. So I knew his younger brother, and I mistaken him for Rob. So I messaged Rob, and no, Rob messaged me and was like, "Hey, do I know you?" And I was just like, "Yeah, I think I played football with you." And he was like, "No, I think you played with my younger brother." So then we started talking from then on. And then we went to a game, and then he sat right in front of me. I was like, but I had to play it, so I didn't know, he didn't know that I was kind of looking at him. So then Karina was sitting next to me, and Karina tapped him on my shoulder, and she was like, "Rob, come sit up here." And I was like, "Karina, why would you do that?" And then Rob heard, and Rob turned around and he said, "What?" And Karina said, "Come sit up here." And he goes, "Why?" And I was like, "Why?" And I said, "Karina, that was so embarrassing with what you just did." And then the whole time Rob was laughing at the bottom bleacher because he knew. He knew that what to say, and he was doing that to bother me. And I left the little gym. I left it, and I was in the room. I'm like, "Oh my gosh, this is so embarrassing." And then that night, I lost my phone. He came over, and he was like, "Oh, so what happened?" I said, "I lost my phone." He was like, "How come you didn't come get me?" And I said, "Because I don't really know you." And he was just like, "You know, you should have came and got me. I would have got your phone. I would have found the person who stole it." And then that night, he was messaging me on Facebook, and he asked me he was like, the first question he said was, "What makes you happy?" And then I kind of told him a little bit about me, and then he told me a little bit about him, and he was like, "When I come up to Connecticut, do you want to go to dinner?" And I was just like, "Sure." So I was so excited because he was a ministerial servant and he was older, and so then that's when I told, you know, my dad, and I told my Aunt Bonnie, and I told
What I
everyone.
like about her is that she's a very outgoing person.
From then on,
just like myself. And as when we started dating, I started bringing her around people that I was very close to. And if you've seen Jessica with them interacting, it's like she's known them for years, you know. She got a good relationship with my mother, with my father, my cousins, individuals in the congregation, you know. Everybody loves her. So I like that outgoing part about her. And she's actually very funny, you know. Likes to crack jokes, make fun of me, because I'm a goofy person as well. So I like that about her too. Like, our personalities are similar, you know. We know when to be serious, and we know when to joke around, so she has that fine balance. So that's what I like about her.
what I like about Rob is that, well, even before we were talking, he was my friend on Facebook. And I always saw that he was real close with his family, and he was like a family guy. So when I was going through like the pictures and I was watching how he interacted with certain people, he was like a big family guy. He was spiritual and everything. So, but even to this day, nothing's really changed. He's still he's a huge family guy, and you know, he's spiritual. And you know, I've asked him, do you want to be an elder? He was like, yes. So I mean, everything is still the same. Nothing's really changed with him, which was nice. He's never changed who he was, and he's always been there for me as a person. You know, I've had my ups and downs as a person, and he's never let me down. So that's what I like about Rob. He's my best friend.
I love her family, and why I could say that is because since day one, you know, her father embraced me. He's a very good man. I respect him a lot. He knows how to treat his family and take care of them. So me and her dad had a good relationship from the start. You know, actually, the funny part about it was her sister. That was actually the one who gave me the most trouble. And I thought it was gonna be the dad, but it ended up being her sister. So I guess she was dating somebody else, and the sister liked that person. But things didn't work out. So when I came along, she gave me some trouble, and the boys asked me, "What are you doing here? What are you doing here? You stalking my sister?" So I found that very funny. But afterwards, you know, she explained to me the reasons why she was that way. Actually, like now, me and her sister are very close, you know, and she's a very good individual, and I respect her a lot. So her father, her sister, and actually all her sisters have a good relationship with, and she got a loving family, and it reminds me of mine. So I really never had any issues with her family except her sister when it first started. Anthony, he's a very special person, and why I could say that is that me and Anthony had a good relationship. He remembered my name very early on. He was like, Rob, and you know, every time I would come here, I would try to buy him his favorite food. Everybody knows Anthony likes chicken and French fries. So I make sure I either go to McDonald's or anywhere that has chicken and French fries and bring him a whole bunch. And it's entertaining to me to watch him eat because he eats fast. He does everything fast. Fast pace, everything. Shoves it all in his mouth, and I just sit back and laugh. Yeah, so Anthony, very, very good person. Very good person. I have fun times with him as well.
So when we were talking, every single time we'd be on the phone, he'd be like, "Oh, here's my mom, I'm gonna put you on the phone with her." And I was like, no. I was all nervous. Then mom would get on, "Hi, how are you?" I'm like, "Hi." And then I'd be talking to her and she was so nice. And then I was just I'm not used to I'm talkative, but I'm not used to, basically like just going out and to talking to someone who I don't know. I have to kind of be introduced and then slowly, you know, venture off. But he's better than me. He can go up to anyone and just talk. I can't do that. But, his family, at first I was afraid of one of his aunts. And then I wound up, you know, I love her to death. I love all his aunts to death now. But I think I wasn't nervous about meeting his family. He said that everyone gets nervous around the dad, and I wasn't nervous because look at my dad. My dad is an ox, and he's stern and everything, so it was kind of a replica of my dad. So I mean, it was just, and they were so friendly and so nice, and they always like to do stuff that kind of just eased the greeting period. But other than that, I love his parents, I love his family. They play a big part in our life, and
She reminded me of my mother.
It was very nice.
Everybody that knows my mother knows that she's a very nice person. very nice person, and my mother would kind of bend her back for anybody. So she's there for anybody, offer assistance to anybody, and that's one of the first things I've seen in Jessica. She was always helping out anyone, her friends, whether it be bringing them to work, or buying something for them, or doing sleepovers at her house, or watching movies with them, or anything like that. She's very similar to my mom in that regard, so that's what drew me close to her. And even when we talk from time to time now, I still tell her that. And but my mom is like one of the most important people in my life, and I appreciate my mom a lot, and they have a lot of similarities, and that's actually one of the things that drew me to Jessica. It wasn't her looks, obviously she looks good, but it wasn't that, but it was her personality though, and it was very similar to my mother, And a lot of people give that expression, or they say the expression that you marry someone who's similar to your mom, and I can truly say she's very similar to my mother, and that's a great thing.
Rob doesn't really act like anyone from my family, but there is a quality in him that resembles my father. My father always would get job after job after job just to support the household. One time he was working 3 jobs and getting up at 3 in the morning, 2 in the morning, 4 in the morning. And he also I can see my mom a lot with the personality. With my dad, it's basically he's like a hard worker. He'll have to, if he has to get another job, he'll get another job. He enjoys working, which I've never really met someone who's enjoyed working, so that's probably why we're moving to Rhode Island. But other than that, my mom, she was such a sweet person, and he's a really generous, sweet person, and I feel like my mom would have loved, she's gonna love him when she meets him, but I see a lot of my mom in him. His heart is huge. My mom's heart was really big. But at the same time, he reminds me of my dad, because my dad was a hard worker.
How do I feel? I feel good about it. The way our relationship is now, I want it to last forever. And the more time I spend with her, the better. So growing old with her is something I look forward to. Look forward to walking in the cane with her, wheelchair with her, cleaning out our dentures together. Whatever else old people do. But growing old with her is something I look forward to, and I just want our relationship to last forever.
When we grow old, it doesn't scare me, because I know that we're gonna see a lot of different things and go through a lot of different things. He's like me. We like to do stuff. We have to go places and try different things, and it's nice to know that I have someone like that, because as I get older, and as I don't have kids, because right now I'm not having any children, but it'll be nice to go out and experience certain places and see certain things with your best friend. So I look forward to doing that. Growing old with him, I think of tomorrow and the next day and the next day, and as I get older, the love's gonna grow and get stronger as you have a family and everything. But I think that he'll make an awesome father, and he'll make a really good husband, because he loves Jehovah, and he's never changed, so he'll still be the same person, which will be nice.
I always look at the example of my parents, my mother and father, and they've been married now for 26 years, coming up this summer. And the joy they have is the same joy that they had since they got married. Like, it never dwindled. You know, some relationships, the longer it goes, the love fades more and more, but theirs is always the same, always constant, and they always find ways to make each other happy. Whether buying gifts or going on vacations together or spending good quality time with each other. I always observed my father, even at a young age, how he treated my mother. She's always happy all the time, and she speaks highly of my father. And like, even last year, he had a 25th anniversary party, and he wrote like a beautiful poem to my mother, and bought her some very expensive gifts. But the poem was nice. I don't remember it, but it was very nice, and it touched my mother. And tears started coming down, and she's romantic. She's always romantic, you know. Always romantic, always surprises my father, you know. But that's one of the relationships I looked at closely, because it's a successful relationship, and I always looked at that, and I want that same success.
Both of our parents played a big role in, I think, our lives. I've watched my mom and dad have, be married, and I've seen their ups and downs, and they've always stuck by Jehovah, and, like my dad going out and getting job after job and doing what he's got to do. My mom, she had, my autistic brother, with me and everything. She's always been, a good mom, and she's always done what she had to do. As for his parents, I've got to be with him and and his parents for an anniversary party, and you could just see how much the father loves the mom, and he always said, like Rob always said, you gotta keep the fire going, you gotta keep it going. And he said, I learned from my father. That's one of my biggest, one of the biggest people who I've learned from. And I see his father and how he treats his mother, and it's always, he has patience, and he's a good head, and he is a hard worker. And just like my dad, we both came from good backgrounds, and we just hope that we could carry on.
I'm not nervous at all. I'm more anxious because I'm very excited for that moment, and to embark on a new course, so to speak, something new to both of us. Very exciting, and matter of fact, February 23rd was a proposal day when I proposed to her, and I wasn't nervous at all. Not at all. Actually, her father was more nervous than I was, but I wasn't nervous at all. I just wanted to see how she would react to it, and it was an important day. And matter of fact, like nights leading up to that proposal, I couldn't even sleep because I was picturing in my mind how it was gonna go, and how she would react, and how everybody would be. So I look forward to the wedding. I wish it wasn't in September. I wish it was tomorrow, but it happened. I'm patient, and I look forward to the life we're gonna have together. I know she's the one for me, and we're gonna live happily ever after.
For the wedding, I'm a little nervous because I hope everything goes as planned. I look at everything, and I'm doing everything. I'm trying to do everything ahead of time, so I'm not rushing anything in the summer. And I know we're gonna have a cute little place and everything, but it is I'm kind of nervous because I'm moving to Rhode Island. It's a different kind of life. I'm leaving my family, not leaving them, but you know, I won't be in Connecticut. You know, that bothers me here and there, and you know, it bothers me that, you know, my mom's not gonna be at the wedding. You know, so I just hope that everything goes as planned, and I hope that I don't stress out too much, because I have a tendency not to handle stress too well. So I'm hoping that, you know, I just breathe and that everything's okay. And I hope my dad's okay, because, you know, he broke down at the engagement. So I know at this, you know, father-daughter dance, it won't be too good. But I hope that the wedding goes okay, and I am a little nervous, like I said, for just everything to play out, and I just hope everything goes the way my mom would have liked it. I feel bad because, you know, I gotta leave my dad and my, you know, Anthony, Marie, like I said a little earlier, but, and I feel bad just because I know my dad, you know, he's lonely, but, you know, he's doing good, and, you know, I've been there through a lot. You know, I do wish my mom was at the wedding, but I know that she'd be very happy with him, and she'll see him soon. One of my memorable moments was when I got proposed to. He proposed to me on February 23rd. I was so excited. I came running into the house to go show my family my hair. I was so excited. I dyed it brown. And I looked to the left, and he's just sitting there, and he was supposed to be taking a nap. So he was sitting there, and I'm like, Rob! And he was like, hi, boo. And he just sat there, and I just froze. I was like, and I just froze, and I was sitting there, and then he got up, he walked over, he gave me a little kiss on the cheek, and then he was just like, hi, come here, let me show you something. So he started walking me over to the kitchen area, and he said, do you remember those chocolate-covered strawberries you always wanted? And he gave them to me. Then he said, and he goes, and I got these roses for you. And my dad was just standing there, and my dad was so nervous. Everyone said, your dad was so nervous, your dad was so nervous. And he was so nervous, and, you know, which I thought was cute. And then he said, all right. And so, like, before he gave me everything, I walked over, and my dad was cued to play the music. And my dad played the music, and my dad has chest out, and he was just looking, he was all nervous. And after everything, when the music started, 25 to 30 people came up from the spiral staircase, and they all just filed around. And when I saw all those people come up, I'm going, oh my goodness. And I gave him the biggest hug, and I started crying. And I could not stop crying, and I was just like, oh my goodness. And he was just like, boo, are you okay? And I said, okay. I said, you brought 30 people to Connecticut for me? And he said, he just got down on his knee, and he, you know, said, you know, you were my best friend, and, you know, this has been the best 9 months of, you know, my life. And, you know, you're everything to me, and I would love to spend the rest of my life with you. And he said, will you be my wife? And I said, yes. And he put the little ring on, and we both picked our heads up, and we just started smiling. This is the ring. Right there. And, we started smiling, and we just looked at everyone, and Marie was crying. Dad was crying. And I turned around, and I gave my dad a big hug, and I said, it's okay, Dad, you're the best dad. And, you know, he hugged me for a minute, 2 minutes, and then, you know, he let go, and then, you know, then we started eating and everything. But I think that was one of the, I've never really been surprised before. I've been surprised with other stuff, but this was like a really big surprise. Like, he really put time into it. Him and my dad sent me out to go get my hair done, my nails done, everything done. Marie kept me distracted. She didn't tell, and I found out that about everyone who I talked to knew about this proposal besides me, so I'm just happy that I didn't find out, you know?